Once again. My name is Vibhor Suri. On behalf of Global Fitness Clan, I want to welcome each and every one, especially the people who have joined us for the first time. This is the second in a series of episodes that we are doing called GFC Conversations. And the goal of this conversation is to break a lot of myths. Last time, I hope you've come here. You've seen our episode 1, and if you have seen our episode 1, then you will get a lot of background on what we are talking about. और आज भी जो होने वाला है उसका आपको एक अच्छा कॉन्टेक्स्ट सेट होगा अगर आपने एपिसोड 1 देखा है तो. At the same time, if you have not seen it, अगर आपने नहीं देखा है, all okay, no problem, because today we are going to break a lot of myths with respect to health things and health concerns, और a lot of things जो हम सुनते हुए आए हैं बहुत सालों से और हमें लगता है कि ये सच है, and this is the truth, this is the gospel truth, but a lot of times that is not the truth. And I've been into health and nutrition for many years, but I would like to confess that today I'm here just representing a lot of the audience, right? Please do not take me like an expert on health or something. Yes, I have become a nutrition coach now. I'm very, I know a lot of things about this, and we're helping a lot of people. But I'm representing a lot of the audience today because I was where you were, right? I was a person who did not know too much about these things that we are talking about now. आज जो भी बात होने वाली है इसके बारे में मुझे hardly कुछ पता था, right? Some time back, and as we got exposed to this information, as we got exposed to Global Fitness Clan, their philosophy, and how things work, right? It made so much sense to us, and we were able to not just help ourselves and our family and our health, but we are able to impact so many people outside now, right, with this information, because we just did not take it theoretically. We understood it, we applied it in our own lives first, and we saw the difference that it was starting to make in our own lives, myself and my wife. And then we really started coaching and helping a lot of people with this philosophy, and we are seeing a phenomenal transformation happening across the board with so many people. So that is my goal today. I'm just like you, and I'm going to ask questions and get a lot of clarity with the guidance of Mr. Amit Kumbhar, who's one of our top coaches, and not just in our fitness clan, but he's one of the top coaches in Pune, Maharashtra, and all over India. Right? There are people who line up and take his time, and he's not able to give his time to so many people, but we are so fortunate that he's able to take out half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour or so for us, so that we can be educated, not just today, but this resource of this video will be available for people for a long period of time, right? So I want to welcome Amit formally. Amit, thank you so much for being here. I know you could have been anywhere virtually. आप किसी के साथ भी time spend कर सकते थे, but you've come here and you've taken out time for us. It's a real heartfelt thanks from all of us on behalf of Global Fitness Clan and the entire viewers who are watching you right now, right? And who will, right? So welcome. And Amit, you want to say anything in the beginning, or I can go ahead and ask you some questions? आपको कुछ पहले बोलना है, right?
Yeah, बोलना है मुझे. So thank you so much, Global Fitness Clan, for creating this platform. It's a pleasure, and I'm glad that through this clan, I'm able to access a lot of people and help them. So thank you so much.
All right. Wonderful. So आज का जो topic है is breaking common health myths, right? That's what we want to talk about today. And we there are so many myths that we have in this world. और हम कोशिश करेंगे कि आज जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मिथ्स है उसको हम अनकवर करें. और हमारा मानना ये है कि दुनिया में इंफॉर्मेशन की कमी नहीं है. There is no dearth of information in this world. In fact, the problem is not that people have lack of information. The problem is that people have too much information, and they do not have clarity on what is right and what is not right. Right? Because हर पर्सपेक्टिव सही बोलता है, हर पर्सपेक्टिव के हिसाब से हर इंफॉर्मेशन सही है. And what people unfortunately do, and I was one of them, that we take bits and pieces from here and there. We go to a YouTube channel, we go to a website, we go to a health website, something, and all these people who are posting out there are actually doing a great service to humanity by putting out the information. But a lot of times what we miss is the perspective behind it. और इस वजह से हम क्लैरिटी नहीं लेके आ पाते और हमें बहुत कंफ्यूजन होता है. हमें लगता है ये भी सही है, ये भी सही है, ये भी सही है, और हम खुद कंफ्यूज होते हैं कि हम करें क्या. एंड आजकल व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी इतनी फेमस है. Every week there is a new health tip which comes out on WhatsApp, and we don't know, right? Sometimes ये अच्छा है, ये खा लो, वो अच्छा है, ये खा लो. And today everybody is talking about health. Every family has an health expert. And so our goal is just to demystify a lot of things today, right? And we'll talk about metabolism. We'll also uncover some things about weight gain, weight loss, some nutrients. So we'll see how much we can cover, and whatever we are not able to cover, we'll put a series of these episodes together in the next couple of weeks and every fortnight, and really help you address many of these things which are there in the market today. Okay, so one of the first things that we want to ask Amit, since his experience is so much in coaching people, हमें दुनिया में लोग बोलते हैं कि अगर किसी को मेरा वेट बढ़ गया है और मुझे वेट कम करना है ना, तो फर्स्ट थिंग पीपल से इफ आई वांट टू लूज वेट इज दिस थिंग ऑफ कैलोरी इन माइनस कैलोरी आउट, या फिर कम खाओ ज्यादा वर्क करो, ज्यादा वर्कआउट करो, तो उससे वेट लॉस सबसे अच्छा वही होता है. एंड there is a huge industry of it. So what is your take on that, right? Is that the right philosophy, or how should one approach this kind of a mindset?
So it's a very, very common myth which I have been seeing. And regarding this, if you see, the hormone which stores fat is called insulin. So this insulin hormone is very popular because of diabetes. But this is the hormone which is responsible to store fat. Again, if you see, the hormone which removes the fat is glucagon. Similarly, there are so many hormones which has a specific work in the body. Just like dopamine is secreted when you have pleasure, and before going to sleep, melatonin is secreted. If a dog is behind you and if you want to run fast, adrenaline is secreted. If you see in stress, the stress is detected by cortisol hormone. So you get hunger because of ghrelin hormone. You feel satiety because of leptin hormone. So there are so many hormones. So if you see, all the work in our body is actually done by hormones. Don't you think we should be conscious about hormone rather than about calories? तो ये पूरी दुनिया कैलोरी कॉन्शियस है, लेकिन आप सोचिए आपके बॉडी में जो भी हो रहा है सब हार्मोन्स कर रहे हैं, तो हमें हार्मोन कॉन्शियस होना बहुत जरूरी है. अब उसको इसको इस थॉट को या इस फिलोसॉफी को और थोड़ा बेटर समझने के लिए सोच के देखिए कि अगर कम खा के और ज्यादा कैलोरीज बर्न करके फिट हो सकते थे, तो सोच के देखिए इंडिया के 70% लोगों को 3 वक्त का खाना नहीं मिलता है. तो सोच के देखिए, तो ये लोग कम कैलोरीज वैसे भी ले रहे हैं, तो दे शुड बी फिट, जबकि ऐसा ऐसा नहीं है. सो द राइट फिलोसॉफी, मतलब सोच के देखिए, अगर आपको 80 उम्र में अच्छा हेल्थ चाहिए तो क्या होना चाहिए? बॉडी पे आपका बोन डेंसिटी अच्छा होना चाहिए, मसल क्वांटिटी अच्छा होना चाहिए, ब्लड का स्ट्रेंथ अच्छा होना चाहिए, है ना? तो वो ब्लड जो बॉडी पे मसल है वो रिटेन करने के लिए टेस्टोस्टेरोन हार्मोन जरूरी है. तो यहाँ पर भी हार्मोन ही काम कर रहे हैं. So the right philosophy towards looking your health is hormone consciousness, not calorie consciousness. So the goal is not to eat less. The goal is to eat right. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So when you say eat right, eat right का मतलब ये है कि you have to eat the things which secrete or produce the right hormones. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes. So अगर आपको पता है कि इंसुलिन हार्मोन बनने से फैट स्टोर होने वाला है, तो हमको पता होना चाहिए कि कौन सी चीजें खाने के बाद इंसुलिन स्पाइक होता है. और हमें अगर पता है कि हमें वेट कम करना है या फैट लॉस करना है, और उसके लिए ग्लूकागॉन हार्मोन काम करता है, तो हमें देखना है कि ग्लूकागॉन हार्मोन कैसे सीक्रेट हो सकता है, कैसे बन सकता है. सो हमें क्या देखना है? कैलोरीज नहीं देखना है, फूड चॉइस करना सीखना है, ताकि जो हार्मोन हमें हमारे बॉडी में चाहिए वो काम करे. And this can be done. I've been doing from last 14 years.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so many of us who don't know Amit's background, right, who may not have seen our first episode. So just want to tell you that Amit was, I mean, many years back, he was himself a type 2 diabetes detected person, right? In spite of having knowledge about health that so many of us had, and he was practicing health and nutrition, and he shared a story so well last time कि diabetes होने के बाद समझ में आया कि बहुत सारी चीजें जो हम सीख रहे थे इतने सालों से वो शायद गलत थी. बट अब कभी बहुत बार अपनी जो कॉन्सेप्शंस होती हैं उसको हम चैलेंज नहीं करते हैं, बिकॉज वी फील दैट वी हैव ग्रोन अप विद दीस थिंग्स. एंड हमेशा जब भी कोई बोलता है कि अच्छा आपको वेट कंट्रोल करना चाहिए या यू हैव टू लूज वेट और समथिंग यू ऑलरेडी गेन्ड अ लॉट, द फर्स्ट थिंग पीपल स्टार्ट डूइंग इज स्टार्ट कटिंग डाउन ऑन व्हाट दे आर ईटिंग, राइट? दैट्स अ नेचुरल रिएक्शन. इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक अ फाइट और फ्लाइट थिंग. आपके पीछे अगर कुत्ता पड़ा है तो आप भागते हो, जैसे अमित बोल रहे हैं, राइट? सेम थिंग, अगर आपको लगता है कि मेरा वेट ज्यादा है तो आप सबसे पहले खाना को कट करना शुरू करते हो. So Amit, is that the reason also that जो लोग बोलते हैं ना मैं ज्यादा खाता नहीं हूँ फिर भी मैं ज्यादा वेट होता है मेरा, बढ़ जाता है, राइट? व्हाट डू यू फील अबाउट दोस पीपल? दे हैव द सेम रीजन, दे आर डूइंग द रॉन्ग थिंग्स, और व्हाई इज दैट हैपनिंग?
अभी जो लोग ज्यादा खाते नहीं है लेकिन फिर भी वजन बढ़ रहा है, तो उसमें दो चीजें हैं। एक तो जो भी खा रहे हैं उसमें इंसुलिन बन रहा है बहुत सारा। तो इंसुलिन हार्मोन का गोल ही वो है कि स्टोर करना है। पहला उसका गोल है कि वो यूटिलाइज करने के लिए हेल्प करना। लेकिन जब ब्लड में शुगर लेवल एक्सेस होता है तो उसको डाइवर्ट करने के लिए स्टोरेज सबसे बेस्ट ऑप्शन होता है उसके लिए, एज पर द प्रीवियस प्रोग्राम। और दूसरी बात है कि जब कम खाने के बाद भी जो मोटे हैं या ओबीज है, उनका कारण क्या है? उनका मेटाबॉलिज्म ही ड्रॉप हो गया। मतलब ऊर्जा जलाने की जो शक्ति है, कैलोरी जलाने की शक्ति आइडियली, वो उनकी बहुत कम है। तो ये नॉर्मली जो बॉडी टाइप होता है ना, एंडोमॉर्फ्स, है ना, तो उनका मेटाबॉलिज्म कम होता है। आपने फिर इसके ऑपोजिट कुछ लोग भी देखे हैं जहाँ पे वो लोग पतले होते हैं लेकिन इतना खाते हैं लेकिन फिर भी वजन नहीं बढ़ता है। तो ये इन लोगों को बोलते हैं एक्टोमॉर्फ, जिनका बेसल मेटाबॉलिक रेट बहुत हाई होता है।
हम्म हम्म
तो द राइट वे टू लुक एट इट इज कि राइट फूड चॉइसेस सिलेक्ट करना है और राइट हार्मोन ट्रिगर करने के लिए हमारे बॉडी को हेल्प करना है।
ओके ओके। तो आई मीन दैट्स अ ग्रेट पॉइंट, राइट? कि आप एंड दिस इज वन ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट आई आल्सो हैड, राइट? आई वाज मोर लाइक अ एक्टोमॉर्फ, राइट? कि मैं खाता बहुत था बट मेरे को कभी वेट गेन नहीं हुआ until a certain period of time where resistance started happening in my body and eventually weight started increasing, right? तो जो आपने बोला कि first reaction that happens to your body when you start eating less, right, is that at that time also metabolism drops, correct? Because your body feels कि
राइट,
हमें खाना कम मिल रहा है,
कम
right?
रहा है,
मुझे खाना कम मिल रहा है तो मैं
कम मिल
अपना
रहा है।
ऑटोमेटिकली कम कर देती हूँ। इसलिए बहुत लोग कम खाने के चक्कर में वीक भी हो जाते हैं, मेटाबॉलिज्म डिक्रीज होता है और खाना भी मतलब फैट भी बर्न नहीं हुआ, करेक्ट?
राइट,
So
राइट।
that is a vicious cycle that a lot of us are stuck in, of eating less and exercising more, and उसके बाद उनको कोई बोलता है कि अच्छा अब एक्सरसाइज करोगे तो मेटाबॉलिज्म बढ़ जाएगा, राइट? तो फिर वो लोग दोनों करना शुरू कर देते हैं, खाना भी कम खा रहे हैं और एक्सरसाइज भी ज्यादा करना शुरू कर देते हैं। दैट्स व्हाट मोस्टली हैपेंस। मतलब हम लोग जब जिम जाते थे, जब जिम खुले थे, देयर सो मेनी पीपल हु जस्ट वर्किंग आउट वर्किंग आउट वर्किंग आउट एंड नथिंग यूज्ड टू हैपन टू देयर बॉडी, राइट? तो ऐसा भी होता है हमें कि आई नो, आई मीन दिस मे बी अ ऑफ ट्रैक क्वेश्चन राइट नाउ, बट क्या एक्सरसाइज करने से मेटाबॉलिज्म बढ़ता है? ये भी एक मिथ है या एक्चुअली इसमें कुछ सच्चाई भी है?
या एक्सरसाइज करने से मेटाबॉलिज्म बढ़ता है, लेकिन उसमें भी दो पार्ट्स है। एक होता है कि जब आप ऐसे एक्टिविटी करते हो, मतलब एक्सरसाइज की, जहाँ पे मसल ब्रेकडाउन नहीं होता है, तो उस समय सिर्फ वो एक्टिविटी करते समय ही मेटाबॉलिज्म बढ़ता है, रिक्वायरमेंट बढ़ता है। लेकिन अगर
हम्म
आप वेट ट्रेनिंग करते हो तो वेट ट्रेनिंग करने का क्या होता है, हम लोग डेलिबरेटली हम लोग मसल ब्रेक करते हैं। तो
हम्म
मसल अगले 40 आवर्स के लिए और रिपेयर करने के लिए इट नीड्स अगेन मोर कैलोरीज, विच इज कॉल्ड
हम्म
इपॉक, आफ्टर बर्न इफेक्ट। तो उस समय फिर जो मेटाबॉलिज्म बढ़ जाता है। लेकिन हमें ये भी समझना है कि सिर्फ मेटाबॉलिज्म बढ़ाना नहीं है, हमको वो पाथवे क्रिएट करना है। पाथवे क्या क्रिएट करना है कि बॉडी अपना बॉडी का फैट ब्रेक करके एनर्जी क्रिएट कर रहा है। ये अगर पाथवे क्रिएटेड नहीं है तो उसके लिए एक ही सोर्स है इस मेटाबॉलिज्म बढ़ाने के बाद, कि आइदर वो मसल बर्न करे और थोड़ा फैट बर्न करे,
हम्म
लिवर
हम्म
और लिवर ग्लाइकोजन या ब्लड ग्लूकोज इस्तेमाल करे।
ऑलराइट ऑलराइट। Yeah, so हो सकता है you're logged in for the first time or second time, you may not understand too many things, right? And that's fine, right? Don't worry about it. This can be a resource for you, and obviously you can connect with somebody either in our community or somebody that you trust outside our community also, that who's into health and fitness and many things, and they can guide you on these terms if you're not understanding this, right? So Amit, jumping on to the next thing, I mean we understood weight loss, weight gain, ये जो metabolism का और calorie in calorie out, तो दुनिया में बहुत सारे diets हैं, है ना? गूगल करो वेट लॉस डाइट्स के बारे में तो देर आर थाउजेंड्स एंड थाउजेंड्स ऑफ पेजेस, राइट? एंड एवरीबडी हैज अ डाइट। देर आर डाइट्स लाइक जीएम डाइट, देयर इज अ कीटो डाइट, देयर इज अ, आई मीन महाराष्ट्र में बहुत फेमस एक्ट्रेस हैं, उनकी सरनेम के नाम से एक डाइट है। तो मैं किसी को मतलब अच्छा बुरा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, आई मीन ऑल दीज आर वेरी वेरी गुड एंड दे मस्ट हैव हेल्प्ड थाउजेंड्स एंड थाउजेंड्स ऑफ पीपल। सो डू यू थिंक what is the solution, right? Should people go on one diet and how should people choose? अभी कुछ दिन पहले we saw the news that एक एक्ट्रेस ने एक पर्टिकुलर डाइट फॉलो किया और उसकी डेथ हो गई और ये हुआ, तो देन एवरीबॉडी स्टार्टेड सेइंग अच्छा ठीक है ये डाइट खराब होती है वो डाइट। तो there is so much confusion out there with these diets thing, right? So if somebody is just a normal simple person who wants to get fit or become active or lose weight or those kind of things, lose fat, how should he progress? मतलब what, how should he choose, like what program should he get on?
तो किसी भी व्यक्ति को कौन सा डाइट करना है ये चूज करने के लिए सबसे पहला he should actually decide कि what is his goal. अगर लोगों का गोल इतना ही है कि वजन बढ़ने नहीं देना है, जो भी है वो रखना है, मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल दो लोग हैं, दोनों लोग है ना, दो व्यक्ति है जिनका 60 केजी वेट है, एक जो व्यक्ति 60 केजी वेट वाला है उसके बॉडी में 40% फैट है, और दूसरा जो व्यक्ति 60 केजी वाला उसके बॉडी में 20% फैट है। तो अभी जो सेकंड वाला है ना, इसका परफॉर्मेंस हाई रहेगा। अभी ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग नॉर्मली नहीं है लोगों को, अवेयरनेस। तो अभी समझना क्या है कि अगर जो भी डाइट करोगे ना, उससे रिजल्ट कुछ ना कुछ आएगा, बिकॉज इफ यू चेंज समथिंग, समथिंग विल चेंज। इनपुट
Yeah.
चेंज, आउटपुट चेंज। तो अभी समझना क्या है कि वो करने के बाद अगर आपको लगता है कि यू आर गॉट स्टक, आपको जो डिजायर्ड रिजल्ट्स है, जैसे परफॉर्मेंस है या जो भी है, लुक्स है या जो भी फीलिंग है, अच्छा वो क्या चाहिए आपको, अगर वो डिजायर्ड नहीं मिल रहा है, देन यू शुड टेक अ कॉल कि बाबा मुझे और कुछ बेहतर करना है।
Mm.
आपको
Mm.
ये देखना है कि आप एक ऐसे कोच को ढूंढना है जहां पे आप सवाल करके पूछ सकते हो कि भाई, मुझे उस कोच को पूछना है कि मुझे मेरा मेंटल और फिजिकल परफॉर्मेंस बढ़ाना है, तो ये कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं। यू आप उसको सवाल करके उसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग लीजिए, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड कि इनके साथ जाना है कि नहीं जाना है। सेकंड, अगर आपका गोल सिर्फ क्या है कि बाबा मैं 40 प्लस हूँ, तो मुझे मेरा सिर्फ वजन बढ़ने नहीं देना है और एक ढंग का लाइफस्टाइल चाहिए, है ना, तो फिर महाराष्ट्र में बहुत फेमस डाइट है, वो कर सकते हैं आप। इससे
Mm.
क्या होगा, वो मतलब मैनेज हो जाएगा। उसमें परफॉर्मेंस बढ़ने का गारंटी नहीं है। आप देखो
Mm.
कि वो जो फेमस डाइट है उसमें लोगों का पेट वैसे ही बाहर है ना, और पेट बाहर है और लोग सिर्फ मेंटेन है, मतलब वो बोल सकते हैं कि बाबा मैं 10 साल से मेरा वेट 60 केजी है। लेकिन अगर गोल ये है कि मेरा बॉडी डिटोरेट हो रहा है, मतलब बुढ़ापा आ रहा है, डिटोरेट हो रहा है, और मुझे वो डिटोरेशन के अगेंस्ट काम करना है, देन यू हैव टू लुक फॉर अ राइट कोच जो बता सके कि आपका जो मेंटल और फिजिकल परफॉर्मेंस कैसे इंप्रूव हो सकता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ डाइट एंड एक्सरसाइज, एंड दैट कैन बी डन। या
All right. All right. So if I have to just summarize that in English, couple of for people who are joining in who do not understand Hindi, right? So the goal is first that you have to identify what is your goal, right? Your goal cannot be to compete with somebody on Facebook or Instagram and look like them, right? That's not the goal. The goal is that you have to identify where you are first, and then see what is the optimal level of that you want, right? Personally, that clarity you should definitely have, right? Don't get swayed by social media or your friends or your family losing weight or something, right? You should have an active uh, uh, active relationship with somebody that you trust, and he's a coach or he's a fitness professional or he has done some transformation in his own life. He's tried something himself which he's responsible for, and he knows that that thing works or doesn't work. And share your goal with them, right? And as the first thing that Amit said, do not have just a weight loss goal. Your weight can be normal today, right? I was somebody who was normal weight all my life, right? But when small challenges started coming in my body, I did something called, a lot of people get only on the weighing scale. You stand on the weighing scale and you think that your weight is normal. I don't have to take care of anything, right? But what Amit is talking about is you have to get a body composition test done. When you get a body composition test done, you understand ki if you're 60 kgs or 70 kgs, right? What is the composition of that 60 kgs or 70 kgs, right? If the fat
राइट।
and the percentage is very, very, I mean, skewed up, right? Then you will have bad health. So if you 40% fat hai, just like you were saying, you will have very bad health, right, going forward, if you're a male or a female. So you have to understand not just BMI. The biggest myth right now, or one of the biggest myths that is there in the market today, people are only tracking their weight and height and mera BMI normal hai, right? And that is what Amit is talking about, that you have to go a little bit deeper and not just look at your weight and height, but look at what is the composition of your body right now. And those tests cannot be done like a blood test. It does not come in a blood test report. No doctor can tell you just by seeing a blood test report that, I mean, you're having decent fat percentage, unless you're having like way off triglycerides or cholesterol. वो सब आपका बहुत बड़ा हुआ है, तब कोई डॉक्टर गेस करके बताएगा. But no blood test can give you an accurate assessment. Okay, this is the fat percentage that you have right now. You have to get a separate test, which is in a health, a gym or a health professional. Contact him and get a simple body composition analysis done. Amit, is that fair? I mean, people should do that.
एब्सोल्युटली राइट, एब्सोल्युटली राइट।
All right. Thank you for that. So, I want to cover this. और ये बहुत सारी diets जो होती हैं, they are crash diets or fad diets, right? मतलब they are just fashionable, and people just want to get on these and I think Amit, what you said is कि हर diet का कुछ result जरूर आएगा, right? तो हमें ये भी देखना चाहिए क्या कि हमें सिर्फ रिजल्ट लेके आना है या वो लॉन्ग टर्म कंटिन्यूटी कितनी है उस डाइट की, राइट? मैं उससे लॉन्ग टर्म कितना जी सकता हूँ, राइट? व्हाट वुड यू से ऑन दैट?
So whenever people are looking for a diet and they decide to go onto a diet, they should always think about one thing. When you do that, you should be very sure that you can continue this lifestyle throughout. Until and unless you are sure to continue that, then only you should start. Because if you know that the diet, whatever the diet is, if you're not able to continue for more than 3 months or 6 months, then anyhow you are going to drop the results later on. So there is no point to start even. So one should look for a diet which will actually be a part of your lifestyle. And then you have the sustaining results as well. Nowadays, if you see people do have transformations in the body in some or the other way. But however, people are now more frustrated because they are not able to sustain with the results. And they are actually disappointed, and they are at some point they want that they won't do any diets right now because they're not able to sustain with the results. Okay.
Okay.
So in that case, what I really feel is all people, when they talk about calories, so they are talking more about macronutrients, and they have forgotten that one of the most important part of your diet is your micronutrients, which will take care of your blood strength. Our blood contains a lot of minerals, a lot of vitamins, and a lot of hormones, isn't it? So people are more conscious about calories, that is macronutrient, that is carbs, protein, and fat. But however, we are ignorant about the micronutrients. So one should also see while choosing a coach whether he has enough knowledge about micronutrients and how he's going to fill the nutritional gap of micronutrients.
Okay. Okay. Guys, I hope you have your notepads and pens, right? In spite of knowing a lot of answers that Amit is talking about, because we've been in touch with him for quite some time now, I'm still noting down. There are still many things that he's talking about today that even I don't know, right? Or I'm not aware of. There are some terms. So I hope you're taking some notes here, right? Of course, you can refer to this video, but when you take some notes and write down some things, they always get stuck in your mind, right? And then you can later refer to them in a much more precise way. So Amit, that's a great point you brought up, right? So if I'm looking at some diets or some coach or something, so do you think I should first look at कि इस diet में मेरे सारे जो important macronutrients or micronutrients हैं, they are being covered or not? That's what you're trying to say, right? Right? ये आप बोलना चाह रहे हैं, right? Okay. Okay.
Yes, right.
So what are the important macronutrients and micro आपने बताया vitamins, minerals, right? You shared about these two. What are the important macro, right? क्या जैसे आपने बोला कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स होते हैं, फैट्स होता है, प्रोटीन्स होती है, मैक्रोज, राइट? बट आउट ऑफ दीज व्हिच आर द इंपॉर्टेंट वंस अकॉर्डिंग टू यू?
Okay. So there are three macronutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So now, what carbohydrate does in our body? It just gives glucose, that is energy. What is the function of protein in our body? Growth, repair, and maintain. Three functions. And what does fats do? Fats basically help us to produce a lot of hormones. So if you see, with respect to the hormone consciousness philosophy of the right way, whatever we are saying. So when carbohydrates is in our body, so we spike a lot of insulin, and the insulin is the hormone which basically is responsible to store fat. Whereas if you see, if you eat protein between 3 to 6 ounces of protein as per the body structure, then at that time insulin doesn't spike. So the two benefits of intaking protein is it growth repairs and maintains the body, as well as it doesn't spike insulin, so it won't help our body to store fat. And secondly, if you see, when you eat fat, good fats, so when good fats are eaten, it never spikes insulin. So now if you see, now why our society is more conscious about eating carbohydrates, because they always felt that the carbohydrates will give a lot of energy to them. Now, but at what cost? Nowadays, the common medical problems which we have is diabetes, BP, PCOD, thyroid, cancer, fatty liver, and all those things, obesity. Now, at that cost, we are generating energy through carbohydrates. Now, it makes a lot of sense to me to have proteins without spiking insulin, and as protein can do the same work of carbohydrates, it makes a lot of sense to have proteins as a source of energy. So when protein is broken down to create energy, like just carbohydrates, so protein is broken down to create energy. This is called gluconeogenesis. So our body knows how to break protein and create energy. So that is the best way of doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't put down carbohydrates, because we do need carbohydrates in specific fitness goals. Like for example, a person who wants to build muscles, that is called a muscle gain diet. A person who wants to gain weight, who is underweight or ectomorph, isn't it? So at that time, even carbohydrate is important. So a person should always think about the fitness goal, and as per the fitness goal, you should able to minimize or increase these carbohydrates. But the other way around, when our societies eat 95, the whole meal, 95% of the meal is contributed by carbohydrates, which is way too high. We do need, but how much? 20 to 30 grams.
20-30%. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that is enough.
All right. Oh, that is wonderful. So two questions, Amit. Ek to, you said 3 to 6 ounces of protein, right?
Yeah.
What is 3 to 6 ounces? Like, can you share in like kgs, or if I'm like 70 kgs, what should be my ideal protein requirement if I want to lead a normal life?
Okay. So if you are a 70 kg guy, then your body's requirement of protein should be at least 70 grams protein in a whole day. Whole day, not in one meal. So now, average, if you are in a muscle gain diet, then you can have 4 meals a day. Or if you are in a fat loss diet, when you want to reduce your body fat, at that time you can have 2 to 3 meals only. Okay, so in this case, the 70 gram should be divided into equal doses or equally in the meals. For example, 70 divided by 4 meals should come around 17 grams of protein in each meal.
Got it.
So again, 70 gram will be as per your intensity of workout. So if you go in depth, it will be more confusing. So as a standard, we can have at least that much quantity of protein as per your body weight, and divide into 4 or 3 meals.
All right. Yeah, thanks for that, Amit. So just wanted to get that knowledge, because India as a country is I mean, I read somewhere in Times of India report that 85% of urban Indians, and urban Indians does not mean who live in slums and who live in I mean, who are underprivileged, I mean, who don't have the income. He's talking about urban Indians who have the money, right? They have basic living expenses and they are living a life. 85% of these people are protein deficient. So India is one of the biggest protein deficient countries in the world. And unfortunately, as Amit said, the biggest myth out there is if you need energy, you should have more carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are like eaten almost automatically. So summarizing your point, Amit, the two most important macronutrients, carbohydrates is automatic, it will come in most foods. हम जो भी खाते हैं उसमें carbs तो आएंगे ही आएंगे, and that is fine. जो आ रहे हैं वो आ रहे हैं. We just have to balance it out. But what we have to watch out, as you said, is proteins and good fats, right? These are two things you said. So fat का सबसे बड़ा एक myth रहता है कि लोग बोलते हैं ना, fats खाऊंगा मैं तो मोटा हो जाऊंगा, I'll become fat. इसीलिए नाम तो फैट ही है ना. Right? So if I have more fat, I will become fat, right? So what do you have to answer? So लोग थोड़ा fat से डरते हैं. In fact, हम पहले सुनते थे कि अंडा जब खाते हो तो मतलब I used to eat eggs when I was, I mean, long time back, not after marriage, but लोग बोलते थे कि नहीं white ही खाना, उसको yellow मत खाना, right? तो white अच्छा होता है, उसमें प्रोटीन होता है, और येलो में बहुत फैट होता है, उसको हटा देना, राइट? तो ये भी एक बहुत मिथ होता है सोसाइटी में, लोग फैट उसको अवॉइड करते हैं. तो व्हाट फैट्स आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट?
So basically, there are actually two questions right now. So I'll answer the first one. So dietary fat, मतलब जो खाने से मिलता है. So dietary fat is not responsible for body fat. On this, there has been a lot of research, and American Heart Association guidelines of 2015 has already declared that through a lot of research that dietary fat is not responsible for body fat. And now this has been my own experience. I do intake a lot of fat in my meals, but however the body weight or the body fat doesn't increase. But however, the moment I increase carbohydrates, or if you see you increase carbohydrates, you will gain a lot of body fat, because body spikes insulin. And secondly, if you see eggs, so eggs has two parts, the white and the yellow one. So both have essential amino acids, protein. So 3 grams in white, 3 grams in yellow. Okay. So now the part which basically people are afraid of is the cholesterol and the fat in the yellow part, that is a yolk.
Yeah.
So if you see now, dietary fat is not responsible for body fat. That in this case, you can eat the yellow part and you get protein also, a complete protein. Secondly, if you see the fat, the cholesterol part, if you see, if you are into this industry or you should research, cholesterol is an universal antioxidant. It's not a villain; he's a hero. Second, cholesterol is an antidepressant, which people don't know about this. Again, the king of hormones in our body is testosterone, which is responsible for the quantity of muscle, the bone density, and everything. So now, testosterone is produced with the raw material of cholesterol. So body himself produces 75% of the cholesterol what is required, and only 25% of the cholesterol is intaken through food. Now, for example, people who are conscious about cholesterol, they intake less cholesterol, but however, the body needs to work more to compensate. So now again, if you see, the raw material cholesterol is essential for us to stay happy and healthy in all the three aspects: antidepressant and universal antioxidant and production of testosterone hormone.
Got it.
And
Yeah, no,
there are more some
this
more
may be
research
deep stuff for a lot of people.
Yeah.
This may be deep stuff for some people. And yeah, please continue, Amit. Yeah, please. You were saying something.
Yeah. So there has been a recent research wherein people who are diabetic and people who are hypertensive, the what metabolic disorders people are having. So there has been a research where it was seen that all the people who have metabolic disorders, I'm talking about male, so their testosterone levels are low. And research has already proven that if the testosterone levels are increased, their body is more capable to reverse those metabolic disorders. So with high testosterone levels, insulin resistance is also resolved. So this is good news.
Got it. So, I mean, I think people should understand this, that, I mean, हो सकता है आपको information लगे कि I mean this is radical, right? I mean we are calling some things which are, जो दुनिया उसको खराब बोल रही है, हम उसको बोल रहे हैं कि अच्छा है, और आपको लगेगा कि I mean how is that true, right? I mean how is this thing true? See, everything we are talking about is backed by medical science, and it is not something that we have come up with. You can always go back and research the right information. But what we are trying to tell you here is, I mean, this itself, I mean, what we are talking about cholesterol and, I mean, positive effects of it and all, right? So this can become a topic in itself. हम आधा घंटा सिर्फ इसी myths पे बात कर सकते हैं. ये इतना deep है and ये इतना important है. Because मैंने भी जब cholesterol के बारे में पहली बार पढ़ा था, I used to think कि मेरी बॉडी अगर 75% कोलेस्ट्रॉल पैदा खुद कर रही है, तो कोलेस्ट्रॉल खराब तो नहीं हो सकता. तो आई यूज्ड टू ऑलवेज से, अच्छा, और जब ब्लड रिपोर्ट आते थे तो लोग बोलते थे कोलेस्ट्रॉल बढ़ गया तो खराब है ना. कोलेस्ट्रॉल बढ़ गया इसका मतलब बॉडी क्यों प्रोड्यूस कर रही है, फिर वो रुक जाना चाहिए. तो दिस इटसेल्फ इज अ बिग टॉपिक दैट वी कैन गेट इनटू इन द फ्यूचर episodes, and I'm sure a lot of questions will come on this. I would also request the host, because we want to do a time check here. We want to keep it at under 40 minutes. So if there are any pertinent questions which are coming on Facebook Live, we can take one or two at the end. अगर ऐसा कुछ है. Otherwise, we can obviously take it at the, I mean, for the next episodes which are coming up. So, couple of last questions, Amit. I mean, we raised a lot of questions here with protein and fat and all, right? So, अगर मैं एक vegetarian हूँ, right? अगर मैं तो vegetarian ही हूँ, and there may be some vegetarians who are on this call and listening to this video. तो उनको लगेगा प्रोटीन तो हमें दाल वगैरह से मिल जाता है ना? हम स्प्राउट्स बहुत खाएंगे उसमें मिल जाता है. तो व्हाट डू यू फील, मतलब दालों में प्रोटीन ज्यादा होता है या कुछ और कंपोनेंट? तो व्हाट शुड आई डू, राइट? शुड आई ईट स्प्राउट्स फ्रॉम मॉर्निंग टिल इवनिंग? आपने कितना बोला, 70 ग्राम्स. तो 70 ग्राम अगर मेरे को प्रोटीन दाल से कॉम्पनसेट करना है, तो मुझे कितनी दाल एक दिन में खानी चाहिए अप्रोक्सीमेटली? और अगर वो खाऊंगा तो उसके साथ कुछ और भी आएगा क्या? तो कैन यू शेयर अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट?
Yeah, fantastic. So this has been a common myth of eating sprouts as a healthy diet. So now there are two types of proteins. They are basically as per the classes. So one is called the first class protein and the second one is second class protein. So the first class protein means our body doesn't produce some amino acid. That is amino acid. We have a lot of amino acids, around 22 amino acids. Out of that, 9 amino acids are not produced by body, and so they should be taken from outside. That is why they are called essential. So non-essential means body आपका बना रहा है, इसकी जरूरत नहीं है. So essential amino acid, all the 9, if they are intaken at one time, that is in one source of food, now this is called first class protein. And now this protein, which has all the 9 essential amino acid, is used to repair and maintain. Okay, so now a protein which doesn't contain all the 9 essential amino acid is called second class protein. अभी आप सोचिए, आप प्रोटीन किस लिए खा रहे हो? आपकी बॉडी को रिपेयर करने के लिए, मसल को रिपेयर करने के लिए. अगर उस प्रोटीन में एसेंशियल अमीनो एसिड जो रिपेयर करता है, अगर वही नहीं है, तो आप खा के भी कोई क्या फायदा है? द गोल इज फुलफिल्ड, बॉडी इज नॉट रिपेयर. सेकेंडली, आपको ये भी देखना है कि द स्प्राउट्स and the dals, what people say, yes, they have protein. I actually completely agree with that. But however, along with that protein, what is getting in? मतलब उसमें 100 grams of dals, या आप जो भी लेते स्प्राउट्स लेते हैं, तो उसमें 60 to 65 grams कार्ब्स है. उसी के साथ उसमें कुछ स्प्राउट्स में ऑक्सलेट्स और फाइटेट्स है जो हमारा डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम खराब कर रहे हैं. Now you are intaking a second class protein at the cost of body fat and impaired digestive system. So it doesn't make any sense to me to intake that source of protein. So the right source of protein क्या है? अगर आप वेजिटेरियन हो तो आपके लिए पनीर है और प्रोटीन पाउडर है सप्लीमेंट फॉर्म में. और अगर आप नॉन वेजिटेरियन हो तो आप अंडा, एग्स, चिकन, मटन, फिश, आप कुछ भी खा सकते हो. That is the right source, first class source of protein.
All right. Now that is a big thing, right? I mean, हम तो brought up in families where we talk about, and that is why I'm अभी I hope audience को समझ में आ रहा हो, और मुझे भी समझ में आया था कुछ टाइम पहले कि that is the reason why 85% of India is protein deficient, right? Because we think that this source is having high protein, but we don't even know, because if you just go to Google and type how much protein is there in some things, then you will understand, right? And I was so shocked. I mean, even simple things like tur dal, urad dal, जब मैंने उनका Google किया and I figured out that there are 65 to 70% is carbohydrates. But the world is not talking about it, right? The world is just saying that there are proteins, and proteins which हैं, as Amit said, there are second grade proteins. They are not first grade proteins. So they do not have all the 9 essential amino acids. All dals do not have that. So they don't give me the entire 22 amino acids, 22 entire amino acids जो proteins बनने के लिए मुझे चाहिए. And that's why so much deficiency is there, and because of deficiency, there are so many disorders which are coming up, right? So I'd like to just wrap up with a few things. Amit, I mean, you said very important points कि dietary fat से fat नहीं बढ़ता, right? I mean, अगर हम diet से fat खाते हैं, उससे हमारे body fats का कोई linkage नहीं है. I mean, that is huge. And if people want to write that down, please write that down, right? Dietary fat से fat नहीं बढ़ता. तो जब हम market में जाते हैं या restaurant में जाते हैं, right? तो फैटी फूड जिसको बोलते हैं, है ना, फैटी फूड, और हर चीज पे लिखा होता है ये लो फैट है, लो फैट है, लो फैट है ना, मतलब एडवर्टाइज ऐसे होता है, दिस इज लो फैट, राइट? तो व्हाट इज फैट एंड व्हाट, जैसे क्या तली हुई चीजें जो होती हैं आप उसको गुड फैट बोलोगे? आई मीन, या फिर मतलब if I have a burger out there and that burger has a lot of things, मतलब what that is a lot of myth. मतलब मेरे को जो पता चला था कि जब ब्रेड ऑमलेट खा रहे हैं तो ब्रेड ऑमलेट में एक्चुअली ऑमलेट अच्छी चीज है, ब्रेड इज द प्रॉब्लम. बट पीपल थिंक कि ऑमलेट का येलो निकाल दो एंड ब्रेड खा लो, वो फिर भी चलेगा. तो आई मीन, ये जो मार्केट में होता है बहुत ज्यादा कि लो फैट, तो कैसे डिस्टिंग्विश करें, राइट? विच डू दे हैव गुड फैट, डू दे हैव डोंट गुड फैट, कैसे करें, राइट? व्हाट डू यू फील? आई मीन, शुड वी गो फॉर दैट, दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स जहां पे लो फैट लिखा है, या नहीं जाना चाहिए?
नहीं जाना चाहिए.
नहीं जाना चाहिए.
नहीं जाना चाहिए. अगर राइट नाउ वी नो दैट कि डाइटरी फैट से बॉडी फैट का कनेक्शन नहीं है. नाउ फिर फैट नहीं खाना है, ये सबसे पहला मिथ ब्रेक करना है. सेकंड, नाउ फैट खाना है, लेकिन फिर उसमें भी दो टाइप है. मतलब आपको समझना है कि सैचुरेटेड फैट्स और अनसैचुरेटेड फैट्स क्या होता है. अब सैचुरेटेड फैट्स अभी अनसैचुरेटेड बहुत बड़ा हो जाएगा ये सेशन. तो राइट फैट जो फैटी एसिड्स है, तो वो 4 ही है जो आप खा सकते हैं. एक है आपका घी, दैट इज कॉल्ड घी, जो हम ना घी खाते हैं वो. सेकेंड है आपका ऑलिव ऑयल. थर्ड है आपका बटर विच यू स्प्रेड ऑन द ब्रेड. तो जो रूम टेम्परेचर पे सॉलिड फॉर्म में रहता है, सेमी सॉलिड फॉर्म में रहता है, वो वाला. और फोर्थ है आपका कोकोनट ऑयल. सो नाउ ऑलिव ऑयल इज कॉल्ड ओमेगा 9 फैटी एसिड्स, coconut oil is called medium chain triglycerides, and this ghee and butter is called सैचुरेटेड फैट्स। तो ये 4 चीजों में आप खाना बना सकते हैं और ये इंटेक करना अच्छा है। इसके अलावा जो भी है, इसका नाम जो भी हो सकता है, वो सब प्रो इन्फ्लेमेटरी है। मतलब आपके बॉडी में ये इन्फ्लेमेशन शुरुआत करते हैं, इतना डेंजरस। इसलिए आप देखो कि मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडियंस नहीं, ऑल द इंडियंस, दे आर अर्थराइटिक। अर्थराइटिक का मतलब क्या? अर्थराइटिस मतलब जॉइंट्स को इन्फ्लेमेशन हो गया है। तो ये जो ऑयल्स हम खा रहे हैं इतने सालों से, तो वो ऑलरेडी जॉइंट्स को इन्फ्लेम कर चुके हैं।
Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah, because that question can come. If fat is good, तो मैं हर दिन ब्रेड पकौड़ा खा सकता हूँ क्या? Right? Because उसमें उसमें फैट आएगा। क्या मैं मिर्ची पकौड़ा खा सकता हूँ क्या? उसमें तो फैट आएगा। तो it is very essential to understand that Amit is not talking about fats. Amit is talking about good fats, essential fats. There is something called as non-essential bad fats. Right? That is very important for you to understand. Right? We should not go out and just have. And that is why I think the food industry has kind of unknowingly बहुत कंफ्यूजन हो गया मार्केट में कि फैटी फूड का मतलब होता क्या है, राइट? और हम हर तरीके के फैट को हम बुरा मान के बैठ गए हैं। Whereas my mom and my मतलब grandmother they used to tell me, अरे हम तो घी खा के बड़े हुए हैं, तुम घी क्यों नहीं खाते, है ना? तो हमने जो एज ओल्ड ट्रेडिशंस हैं उसी को हमने विलन बना दिया है बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल दीज मिथ्स दैट आर देयर इन द society. There are a couple of questions which have come, Amit. I mean, we may not be able to take all of them. I was just reading, right? How testosterone can improve. So that's a big topic, right? What should be a veg diet plan to consume 70 grams of protein per day? That also is a big question. And for them, I think it's a specific question, right? To them, मतलब वो उनकी background क्या है? So
Yes.
जो भी ये questions पूछ रहे हैं, I would recommend you, whoever has given you this access to this video, right? Just through them, try and get in touch with either the community of coaches that we have, or if you know somebody who has a good knowledge, who's into health and nutrition field. I'm not talking about a medical professional here. A medical professional who's a doctor and MD and all, they are extremely good when it comes to a disease, right? So what to do after a disease has come is obviously their thing. But what to do before a disease has come, or how through nutrition and through biological science and physiological science, right? How you can reverse a disease without affecting your medication, right? That is where a health professional, a nutritionist comes in, a diet professional comes in, right? So get in touch with those people. And one more question is, does quantity of food and does oil quantity matter? कितना oil देना है? I think you answered that question कि खाने में कितना oil है उससे important ही होगा कि कौन सा oil है ना? What oil is there? Is that the right way to go about it, Amit, on that?
Yeah, absolutely. मतलब कौन सा ऑयल खाना है ये तो ध्यान देना ही है, लेकिन अगेन ऑयल इज अ फैट, इट्स अ मैक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट व्हिच गिव्स कैलोरीज। सो अगेन आप कितना खाते हो ये मैटर करेगा, लेकिन सबसे पहला सिलेक्शन कि कौन सा ऑयल खा रहे हैं विल मैटर द मोस्ट।
Matter the most, right? Awesome. So, I mean, we're pretty much done. We're running short of time. I mean, we have so much things to cover. We already took more than 40 minutes, 45 minutes, but that's pretty much it, guys. That I hope this really helped you. And any last thoughts, Amit, before we wrap up? Of course, we're taking a lot of myths in the next episode. हमारे पास almost 20-25 myths की list थी जो हम लोग बोल रहे थे हमें cover करो, but we hardly were able to cover 4-5. But I hope it helped, right? I hope it gave your perspective. So, anything else, Amit, you want to close down with?
Yeah. So now as we are talking about myths, अगर आप लोग, if you are really serious about your health, you should have two goals, fitness goals. One is you should not have any medical problem throughout your life. That should be the first goal. Second goal should be, if you are at age 80, your body performance should be like 40. This is the second fitness goal. So first is called healthy, second goal is called fit. So with reference to these fitness goals, you should look and understand that whatever things are already in your mind, I want to break that first. And then I want to see what right information is available. So now you have to stay connected to these conversations and break all your myths or barriers so that you understand the right way of living. Else, anyhow, you are a fitness enthusiast, you will keep doing something and then you will mess your health. So the goal is to now have a right direction, put your enthusiasm in the right direction. It will create a lot of value in your health and family. Thank you so much.
That is so true. That is so true. Thank you for that, Amit. Because and that is what we said when we got started with this program today. That there is dearth of info. There is no dearth of information. There is in fact too much information available. Right? You can go to YouTube, Google, and really get all the information that you want to. But the problem is where to get the right information from and who is guiding me. If you go to a YouTube channel, can you go to that person and say, you guide me? Can you coach me? Right? and this is my body type, this is my goal. तो अगर आपका वो relationship किसी का establish नहीं हो पा रहा है, right, then it is very dangerous to just follow advice from here and there. And we become experts to that, unfortunately, and that is what Amit is saying. We are messing up our health because of that. So just make sure you don't do that for your family, because this is the most important time to take care of your health. I mean, if we set the right example for our health, our next generations can be much more better because of that. So with that, we are done, guys. We hope to see you around very soon in the next couple of weeks with another episode of Breaking Myths in GFC Conversations. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye. God bless, and have a great day and great week ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye.